Okay, cool. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Indexer Office Hours. Today is the 14th of October, and this is Indexer Office Hours 226. 29. Oh my gosh, hilarious. My bad. Let me see if the agenda's there. There you go. If anyone is new to Index Office Hours, this is the town square where graph ecosystem participants come together and discuss the most important and relevant topics for indexes. As always, as I like to say, this is a conversation and we do love participation. So feel free to get involved in today's conversation via voice or text. Text box is in the corner there. And if you're having any challenges with your microphone, do let me know and I'll try and get that sorted for you. As a reminder, this session is going to be recorded and posted onto public channels like YouTube. So if you are concerned about privacy, please bear that in mind. And with that, let's get into today's exciting agenda. As always, I'm going to hand over to Carlos for our regularly scheduled Report Watch section.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Report Watch. So this week is going to be very short in terms of official releases. We have a patch version for Prism. So we're now at 6.1.2, and that's about it. But today is hard fork on Sepolia, and that has not been going so well, at least my Arbitrum nodes do not seem to think so. And I think that's a shared experience. So I would like to let you all know there's a release candidate for Lighthouse that you ought to be running today for Sepolia, which is version 8 release candidate 1. There's also a new flag there, so double dash supernode. If you're interested in keeping all blobs with all of the data, you should add that flag to the release candidate. For Red, if you're running it Sepolia on Red, you should be running 1.8.2. And Aragon, I think 3.2.0 should be okay. So that's for Arbitrum Nitro. There's also a release candidate, and that's a bit more messy. So they have a bunch of release candidates. They were running for 5.8, like release candidate 1 to 8. And they tagged the release candidate 8, which actually drops the 𝗨𝗂𝗂 upgrade that they were working on, to put a release candidate for the its Sepolia fork. And you should be running specifically that one for Arbitrum Sepolia. I am though, but it's still not working, and it's not the only chain that I've seen problems on. A few others are pending fixes, and they're having some issues. Post hard fork, I'm happy to hear what your experiences have been like. And that's it for Report Watch. I'm handing over to Juan for the usual protocol watch.
Thanks, Carlos. We were having a discussion on bell peppers in the chat, it seems. Okay, getting into protocol watch. As always, we have a few things to cover. First of all, forum governance. Dispute GDR 45 has been, accepted, as it was mentioned, I think last week. It was going to be accepted, but it now has gone through. Then we have GIP 79. This is the indexer rewards eligibility oracle. I think we have discussed this in past IOH, if I'm not mistaken. But just so that everyone's aware, it's an oracle to, determine, if I'm not mistaken, the kind of like the minimum standards for indexers on how, the service they provide and other stuff so that they are eligible for indexing rewards. It is a pretty interesting GIP, so if you're interested in that, it's linked in the agenda. Then for forum research, we don't have any new updates. For the contracts repository, we have both updates to PRs related to the indexer rewards eligibility oracle, as well as Horizon. Mainly the Horizon PRs, as far as I can see, are related to the deployment of Horizon to testnet so that it can be tested. And the eligibility oracle are some preview PRs that are floating regarding the implementation. For the network softwares, we don't have any new updates, so that's pretty much all for Protocol Watch. And now I'm going to be handing over to Kate.
Thanks, Juan. I have some good news. It looks like this week we will finally be able to move forward with some of the initiatives we've been pushing for several weeks. We've had some time waiting for an official council vote, so it looks like we should be able to officially have Boba BNB deprecated. And we should be able to have rewards live for Sepolia, Chapel, and Unichain this week in the coming days. I've posted some announcements about both of those things, and I know I've mentioned it several times here, and it's just been like a wait and see, wait and see. So finally, we're going to move forward, and so keep your eyes in the Indexer channel for any like official announcements. And thanks for all your patience. And we have some additional deprecations coming up later this year as well per GIP 0084. And so I will let you know when those are kind of ready to be announced and make sure that everybody has enough time to make any arrangements they need with their infrastructure as well. So thanks again for your patience, and keep your eyes on those announcement channels, and I'll make sure everybody knows when everything's live.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you all for your sections there. So now we will move on to the network watch segment. So we normally bring up subgraphs that are having some issues, and I believe there was one last week that we didn't mention, so just bringing it back again. I can see Mitch is in here, so maybe I'll throw it to you to discuss this subgraph if you're open to discussing it.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, fantastic, amazing. So yeah, this is a subgraph we were actually just talking about this morning. It's the Uniswap v3 BNB subgraph. I see that Pinax and 𝗨𝗀𝗃 are the indexes that are effectively syncing it. Pinax looks like they're actually at chainhead now, which is great, but it still seems to be failing. Okay. I'll go ahead and post the deployment ID. Oh, yes, there it is. That's the one. So yeah, if there are any other indexes here that could index that subgraph, that would be amazing.
We're having fun with B&B notes. Amazing. Good to hear, Mitch, Matthew. So yeah, as Mitch mentioned, yeah, just want to flag that in case folks are interested in having a look. I just want to pause here in case anyone's got anything to say. I see Hal from Pinax is typing. Maybe it might be a follow-up from Matthew's comment. But yeah, just wanted to flag that as a subgraph people could have a look at. Rewound twice and still failed. Probably. Oh well. Okay. Rewind. Probably need to rewind further. Yeah. Do you want to comment to that, Mitch? It's a comment from Hal talking about that subgraph there.
Yeah, I know I sent 𝗨𝗃𝗃 a message as well, and he said that there were a lot of errors, but none of them were preventing him from indexing it. So I'm not sure if Pinax has any data on why it was failing. But yeah, if we could, I guess, pinpoint the exact reason, or if it was just an error with IPFS or the RPC or something, then yeah. Yeah, I think the easiest fix would definitely be to get more indexes on it.
Seems like Gemma from Luna Nova is on it as well, but is 13 million behind Chainhead. We're only two indexes. If anyone has it partially indexed, it would be useful to allocate so we can compare POI and help find the root cause. Amazing. Yeah. Would be great to collaborate with Mark on that if anyone else has it partially indexed. That would be awesome. I see a couple people typing in the chat. Oh, sorry, Mickey, you want to hop in?
Oh, yeah, I was just curious if Kyle or Darwin or someone could give a quick TLDR on what the issue was with their BNB nodes, just so support can share some kind of update back with this customer. Just for reference, Revert Finance is one of our top 3 users by query volume, so we just want to make sure we give him Mario as much information as we can.
Any thoughts, folks?
Matthew, do you happen to have more insight? I don't know if it's easier just to maybe unmute and share. Yeah, I see the chart looks good, but was wondering what the issue was from the issue originally came up October 6th and was again Sunday, I believe.
All right, it seems like Matthew and Mickey are going back and forth in the chat on that there. Hopefully we're able to get to the root cause of that. That would be awesome. Before we move on, I just want to flag something that Slim put in the chat. Do you want to touch on that a little bit, Slim, before we move on? The comment you just put in the chat there.
Yeah, I was just double tapping on the comment from Juan that 𝗨𝗀𝗳𝗂𝗧 is now in the forum. The proposal is in the stage that we would like to have comments from indexers if there's any further concerns. We've already dedicated 2 IOH sessions and 2 indexer experience working group calls on this topic, as well as a couple more short IOH updates. So I do believe that most of the concerns have been addressed and is already part of the and they are the concerns and requests have already been implemented into the proposal, including reducing the initial criteria to only serve one query on one subgraph, so it shouldn't be anything stopping indexes from at least being eligible and getting familiar with the Oracle and the dashboards that are available. But I encourage anyone that haven't been part of that discussion to read through the proposal and comment in the forum if you have any concerns.
Boom. There you go. Thank you, sir. And I've just put a comment in the chat there. If anyone wants Rem to come back to IOH and discuss more about this particular chip, just put a thumbs up on the comment I put in the chat there. He's following up from what Thomas said. If there's appetite for that, then I'm happy to arrange that. Okay, without further ado then, let's swiftly move on to the next topic because I do want to give Tomas enough time to discuss all the stuff that he wants to discuss with his presentation. He's back again with us as a follow-up from a previous IOH that he did with us, and he is going to talk all about Horizon. So without further ado, I'll give it to you, Tomas, to present all the stuff you'd like to talk about.
All right. Let me get the things set up. Okay. Can you notice my screen coming up?
Yes, I can see Discord on one side and then the Graph Horizon upgrade overview.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so yeah, I'm here to talk a little bit about Horizon and the upgrade on our 𝗨𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗪𝗀 testnet. I don't have much in terms of like a presentation prepared for today. It's mostly sharing some updates, and there is like a call to action in a way for indexers that want to help test, all the components. We've created a document with some, guidelines for testing, configuration values, and all of that. And I'd like to go over that document and focus on some of the sections in there. So first, in terms of like where are we with things, might remember like we have like 4 different phases for the upgrade. Perhaps this is a better view. So far we've already executed like the first 3 phases. This was done last week, I believe. Yeah, October 6th and 7th. So we are midway through the upgrade. The last phase of the upgrade is scheduled to happen on October 22nd, assuming all the testing from leading up to that point goes well. If we need to delay, we will delay, of course. And yeah, let's focus on this now. So this is like the document that we prepared. It has, as I mentioned, like some guidelines on what to test and how to test it, and some information. So as a reminder, like the first thing I want to mention here is what we are testing. As I mentioned, like we already executed the first 3 phases, and phase 3 is really the stage where it lasts for a couple of weeks. On mainnet, we'll probably have this last for 3 weeks or so. And during this period, what we have is indexers running the new stack, the new components that are Horizon compatible, but those are running on a pre-Horizon network. So the first order of business is make sure that like the new stuff works with the old network, and that's the purpose of like the current phase of testing, right? That's the reason why we didn't go all the way through to phase 4, because we need to make sure first that phase 3 looks good. And then at a later stage, we will have execute phase 4. And once the upgrade is live, we will have like the new indexer components working with the new protocol, with Horizon. And that's also like a huge bucket of testing and things that could go wrong. And arguably that's the higher risk, or where we will see more bugs appear, because the current setup is mostly functionality that hasn't changed much. Cool. And this is again scheduled to happen on like this second testing phase, not earlier than October 22nd. Cool. So a few like I guess before I go there, anyone that wants to join the testing is obviously welcome. We've created a channel here in Discord, Horizon Upgrade, where we are posting any updates, discussions on ongoing issues, or anything really related to the Horizon upgrade. You can see there's been some back and forth with Mark already. And so if you wanna, join the testing effort, anyone is welcome. One thing to keep in mind is we have this channel for announcements and communication discussion. And we also have this repo where we created mostly to track issues. So once we find an issue, we will create an issue here and log everything that's relevant to that issue. It kind of provides like a visibility on ongoing issues. So that's that in terms of communication and how we are gonna track things going forward. An important thing to keep in mind here is, say you do want to join the testing phase, or like you want to go along and practice upgrading your indexer. An important thing to keep in mind is, again, we have these two different testing phases, phase 3 and phase 4, and they last, or phase 3 will last a specific amount of time. And once we transition from phase 3 to 4 and the upgrade is live, there is no going back. So if you do want to test during phase 3, if you want to practice the transition, the upgrade switch, be sure to set everything up before we execute phase 4. Because once we do that, there's nothing else we can do to go back or like retry. And again, the dates for this are on this document, which I guess I should share this link in the chat.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Thank you. Yeah, if you just click through there, and then it should send you back to the call. Click under the voice connected. There should be a link there, graph stage.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
There you go. Yeah.
God, I don't like Discord.
Yeah, it can be confusing.
If there are
I
any
also posted
access,
the Discord
cool.
channel above as well. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, if there are any issues with the access, let me know. But I think everything should be pretty public. Right, and from this document, you can branch out to all the other documents I'm referencing. I guess the other document, which I've already shared last week, is the upgrade guide. I think we covered this not last week, but 2 weeks ago, I think it was. I'll paste that here as well. Cool, perfect. So a few other important bits here to consider. This testing phase is obviously going on Arbitrum Sepolia. That's where we have our testnet. So you weren't gonna need ETH and GRT for that testnet. You can get ETH from various faucets, and if you need GRT, we have the Discord bot or channel or whatever that you can get. I think 100K per day. If you need more, we can send you a couple million GRT as well. Just ask either Miguel or I on Discord, and we'll set you up. Yeah, so that in terms of setup. Then a few things to keep in mind. Actually, let me first go here. So the way this document is structured is like we have like a list of test cases that are pretty basic functionality, or what you would expect from running an indexer. You set up your indexer, you stake, allocate, serve queries, close, etc. So you'll notice like there's like a few columns here of like a small group of indexers that are already we had like a private testing session, or so they're already like looking into this. But you can like copy this table document to like some other Notion document and follow along. And each step if you like open the each element here, you'll see that like we added some pass criteria, which is like usually it will be like a query on the network subgraph to figure out if whatever you're doing is working. Most indexers are probably more experienced than we are with running an indexer, so most of this might be like not necessary. But some also have like either like a useful scripts, in this case to just query a subgraph through the gateway, or maybe like a few queries to figure out which subgraph deployments are good for indexing if you want to test like rewards or something. So there is some detail on each one of these items. None of them have like a step-by-step guide or of things that you want to test. Again, like we are not the experts on operating an indexer, so the idea is that this is like a baseline list of things that we think are usually done by indexer. But ideally, if you test this, you want to match your production operation as much as possible. And maybe that means that you use indexer tools to operate your indexer. Maybe that means that you run the indexer in manual mode or oversight mode, or however you operate your indexer. You will see that there are no instructions or anything related to that in these items. And also, if there are other things that you want to test, then obviously that's very much welcome. Yeah, again, and this is for the current phase 3 testing. We will eventually, add a bunch of items as well for phase 4, which is likely going to look very much the same. And then we will add like a few setup items for phase 3, but to set up your indexer correctly for the transition. There's a few things that we probably want to test. And that might require setting up allocations or stake beforehand. So yeah, that's in general like the spirit of this document. Last thing I want to mention here is this bit here. These are a few things to keep in mind. First, remember this is testnet, so the usual protocol parameters are different. Epochs, for instance, are like shorter. It's like 500 blocks or so, which is like a little bit under 2 hours. And mainnet, that's like a day. Allocations have a max lifetime of 8 epochs, so that's like 14 hours, 15 hours. Obviously, this is shorter, so it's easier to test. If whatever you're doing, you want to run an allocation for a couple of epochs, then it's much quicker, obviously, to have shorter epochs. The minimum indexer stake is still 100K. Again, I think this is the same amount that you can get from the faucet on a single day. So if you need more, just ask us. Then there's this document, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. This document has like parameters and like config values for most of the basic things that you need to set up for the indexer agent and indexer service. And you'll see here like the gateway endpoint or subgraph endpoints and deployment IDs and things like that. Okay, I think this is a good segue to a very important thing also to keep in mind, which is, and this can be quite tricky to get right or to understand. But you'll notice if you look at here, so this is the subgraph the network subgraph endpoint. And you'll see here there is like a link to this is not the testnet gateway. So this is not the testnet. This is on the mainnet, right? So I guess the weird thing here is that we are testing on testnet, but the network subgraph lives on the mainnet protocol. That's what makes allows us to ensure that it's pretty well indexed and has a good uptime and all that. But it can be confusing if you're not paying attention. So just keep that in mind. And you'll see throughout both documents that some of the URLs will refer to the testnet, for instance, the gateway endpoint, but some other things like IPFS is another example. I don't think we have a testnet IPFS. We just have the production one, so that's what we use for testnet as well. So just yeah, this is another thing to keep an eye out. Yeah, a link to the testnet explorer. The explorer obviously lives on a different URL. Yeah, this is what I was mentioning about the network subgraph. Another thing, remember that for Horizon we will have a temporary network subgraph. So if you open this one, you'll see it has Horizon temp here. And actually, if I go graph network, yeah, so here, if you search for this, you'll see this is the main network subgraph for 𝗨𝗂𝗳𝗂𝗧 on the left, and this is the new one that we deployed with Horizon compatibility. This is the one you want to use, right, for the new indexer stack. Eventually, they will both be the same, and the temporary will go away. But for phase 3, you want to point your indexer stack to the temporary one. Then on phase 4, they will converge, and it doesn't matter which one you use. But for now, and for the transition, you're gonna need your indexer stack to use the temporary one. Cool. And lastly, if you're gonna participate in the testing phase, a good thing, in my opinion, is gonna make our lives easier in case you hit any bugs, is to set all your component log levels to highest verbosity, which is trace. Usually done again, this will depend on how you deploy, how you manage your infrastructure, but usually setting up these environment variables will do the trick. And yeah, this is something that if we need to troubleshoot something is probably going to be very helpful. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, anyone is welcome to join. Try yeah, help with the testing here. We do have the Horizon channel here for discussion. There is currently, Mark reported some issue with the 𝗨𝗂𝗳𝗂𝗧 EBO, probably related to the 𝗨𝗂𝗳𝗂𝗧 upgrade. Still need to investigate that, but yeah, if you have any questions or any doubts on how to do any of this stuff, just drop by this channel and we will help. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into some Q&A maybe?
Yeah, if there are any questions, check in the chat. I can send you a couple mil GRT, Abel. It's worthless, but unfortunately not the real thing.
I know. I was making a joke. I wish it were real.
Yeah.
Folks, any questions on anything that was discussed? I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here that's quite actionable, so I'm keen to hear
Yeah.
people's thoughts.
Yeah, maybe one last thing to mention. this document, the upgrade guide, which like explains, well, we've already gone through this, but in several occasions you see that it links out to this other document, which is like, I don't know why I used this name, but whatever. This contains the latest version for each component. This is likely to be, as we find bugs and fix them, this is likely to change rapidly. So yeah, I think like every time that we release a new version of any component, I'll try to make sure that we announce it on the Horizon channel. But like this is to be considered the source of truth for the latest version you should be running. Stop
Surely
streaming.
there's some, yeah. Surely there are some questions here, folks. I'm assuming people have some
Oh no,
thoughts about what was discussed.
Dan is typing. I'm scared. Oh, okay. The Horizon channel is there. I think you might need to have like a indexer group in Discord or something. The channel has some access restrictions, but I'm not sure how that works, to be honest. I was told that if you can access like the indexer channels, you should be able to access the Horizon upgrade. Need the testnet indexer role. Okay.
I could give people roles. So does anyone like put your hand up in the chat if you want a role to access the channel, and I'll give you the role now. It's a testnet indexer role, as Mickey mentioned. So if anyone wants that, just give me a shout and I'll assign it to you, and then you should be able to access the channel. Yeah, no problem.
Cool. Thank you.
No problem. I'll start by giving Dan access because it seems like he wants. Dan, I've just given you a new role for the testnet indexer. Can you just confirm if you have access to the channel now, and then that will let me know if everything is working fine. He's in? Okay, perfect. Amazing. Sounds good. So yeah, folks, if anyone wants access to the channel, just let me know and I'll give you the role. Maybe Thomas, if you want to add some more context just to spark some questions. Maybe people are feeling a bit shy or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, if you want to give some more context, maybe that would be helpful.
Contest on what?
Just maybe some additional thoughts or anything, just to spark some questions, maybe, in case that is useful for people. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure what else to say other than like even if you don't have the time to do like a thorough testing, like you can ignore all the test scenarios that are listed in that document. But I think it is valuable to take the time to just set up an indexer now during phase 3, and then go through the transition sort of like a practice for the mainnet. because like these are pretty unique events that happen on a protocol like this, and usually what I expect the most issues to come from are from misconfigurations. Here like environment variables or configuration values that are either not set or set to the incorrect values, and then that usually will lead into like a very weird bug, which is uncharted territory, but in reality is just like a bad configuration. So I think we do have the opportunity to do like a practice run before the real thing. So I encourage everyone that's running an indexer to at least do that. Again, even if you then do like more testing and you run into issues, then that's great. But yeah, that's my recommendation.
Amazing. That seems to have sparked up some questions. So I'll go through them. So the first one is how many people have tested so far, and is it going well?
Good question. I don't know how many people. So maybe so the first obviously like each component was tested like individually, like in isolation, sort of like a unit test per component. Then the next stage we had was like what we call local environment testing, which is like this huge Docker compose file that literally like replicates the entire networks, like gateway, oracles, indexers, like everything. So it's a sort of like a small testnet that you can run on your machine, like locally. In that type of environment, it's probably like 4 or 5 people testing during development. Testnet is now the next stage for testing. And again, the same 4 or 5 people have tested there. And we had a group of 5 indexers, I believe, that joined the testing last week. And hopefully we can get 4 or 5 more now. Yeah, but so far that's the reach we've had. And is it going
Awesome.
well?
Mhm.
I think it's going well. Yeah. Yeah. As I mentioned, like we've gone through quite a lot of different testing phases. So like most of the big problems should be solved. And the type of issues we expect to see now are, as I mentioned, either misconfiguration or things that are proper of, being in an environment that has like a existing like historical state that we didn't have in other environments. So obviously in production you have a lot of data, a lot of events. For instance, for the subgraph to process, and maybe in the previous environments we didn't have that, and that triggers some sort of bug or unexpected behavior. So I expect the testing phase to go well, but there will surely be the odd bug here and there that's probably very difficult to track and solve.
Amazing. And then we've got another question from State Machine saying, what's the ETA for mainnet?
What's the ETA for mainnet?
Yeah.
If everything goes well, let me pull up my calendar. So if everything goes according to the plan, we should be wrapping up testnet testing in early November, or like second week of November. There is Dev Connect right around the block there, so we could, or I guess like an idea we had was to execute the first 3 phases before Dev Connect. And that's, executing those phases. It's what starts the 3-week window where indexers need to upgrade their stack. So that's, again, like this is not our target, but if everything goes to plan, that's very likely to happen. And that would mean the upgrade would come early December, the phase 4 executed. And again, this is all subject to the testing phase going well and everything going according to plan. The only other thing to keep in mind is that we probably don't want to, like, if for some reason we get delayed by 3 weeks, like we are now suddenly, there's like Christmas and New Year's holidays and all of that. We know like a lot of people take time off. So in that case, we probably would be reasonable to delay for a couple more weeks and have the actual upgrade occur on, January or something like that. But we'll see. As soon as we know, we will let you know. But the focus now is on testnet and getting that sorted out.
Alrighty, awesome. Any other? Yeah, okay. It seems like you got a thanks for the answer there from Steak Machine, which is great to see. Any other questions, folks? Keen to get them answered. This is obviously a very big change, and the whole point of having people like Tomas join us, on a recurring basis is to make sure that everyone feels comfortable with the changes and fully informed and feels like they have all the support they need to be able to engage with this appropriately. So, yeah, folks, if you have any questions, feel free to shout. We'll try and get them answered for you. There seems to be some chatter in the chat about POAPs, and yeah, hopefully that should be being resolved soon. Any questions, folks? Okay, well, if there aren't any burning questions, then as Mickey, oh my God, Vince, what question do you have for me, man? I bet you it's something it's to pronounce something. What is your question?
Peppers.
Bell peppers? What about them? Okay, I was obviously joking. They're not bananas, they're bell peppers. Well, we call them bell peppers. They're bell peppers in the UK too. What? I've never, no, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I've never seen that. Oh, that's Australian. Is that what you Australians call those things? We call them bell peppers. What what is that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, can you confirm, Mitch, if this is true? How do you even pronounce that, Mitch? Can you also help us out with the audio as well? I don't even want to try that. Capsicum, okay. All right. That's hilarious. No, not us Brits. It's the Australians. It's a derivative of the Brit, so you were close enough. Okay, all right. Well, Oh, we got some controversy going in the chat. Okay, cool. All right, seems like we're gonna wrap up. Let's wrap up. Thank you so much, Tomas, for hopping on and sharing some stuff about Horizon. You know what to do, guys. Do check out the channel that he mentioned in the Discord and also the relevant links. And of course, reach out if you have any challenges. Thank you, everyone, for joining for today's Indexer Office Hours. And we hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And we'll see you again, same time next week. Go break stuff. Exactly. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.